holding back on me?
I'm going up like Hakeem.
Funko Pop? Shout out. Come on. That's
Unfiltered,
the truth about oysters. Give it to him. So I did that. Yup, I did. R&B, baby. He delivers.
Get your popcorn ready. Ladies and gentlemen, chill.
Testing the game.
Let's go. No BS, OBS, camera zoomed in, and the chat is lit. Stay tuned in. Like Zach Morris, I got the attention like the cool kids. I do's this, homie. I thought you knew this. If you didn't, now you do. Had to prove it. Thanks for watching. What's everybody's favorite topic? Leave a comment in the chat and refrain from gossip. Stop it. If you hating, there's no debating. Promise, I'm going up like Hakeem. I can't wait to block you. Nah, dog, cause this a party. Get your popcorn ready. We about to get it started. I'm super grateful. Thank you all for being with me. How we looking? Am I good?
Sitting pretty.
I'm elated that y'all would take time to kick it with me. Cause I ain't famous, so I'm grateful for the subs you give me. Shout out to Shoutout. I know my guy is always listening, and I appreciate the bits. Fire emoji, baby. Let's get it. I'ma give you what you came to see. Please hit the follow button for me. We can proceed. R&B, Child's High, class of 03. Shout out to everybody back home and all of y'all that's in the stream. Let's go.
We testing the game. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Chill. Shout out to the whole chat. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
And I gotta do it right off rip. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanna give a special shout out to none other than Miss Hope. I believe it is her birthday today. Shout out to you, Hopester. Hoping you're having a wonderful morning so far, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bang! Shout out to you, girl, and thank you so much for being here and for your support. We've got diamonds in the chat.
Got a Superman bench that I scored from Shaq with an old school caddy with
Say
the
diamonds in the chat. Oh, look at us! Come on! Kicking 2025 off with a bang! Let's go! Love y'all. And Riley, come on! Let's go! Man, you all, thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
Love that. Hey, if we unlock the next level of the hype train, you'll unlock a new emote. How cool is that? So keep on emoting. You could donate bits. You could hit the sub, all that jazz. You don't have to, but thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
Hopester says, having lunch with your mom. It's gonna be a great day. Absolutely it is. One more time, happy birthday. Or as they say in Norway, gratulerer med dagen. All right? Hey! Look at Shadow. We've got a very cool show lined up. I'm not even gonna give you the notes and the overview and all that. We are just going to jump right into this thing. I got some feedback the last couple of episodes, particularly when we do a mega movie review, that it can run a little long, okay? And so I'm gonna do my best to kind of give you the abridged version, so to speak. And I think that'll be better for everybody. No, I think it will. So there you go. We've got a very cool show lined up. I'm so happy to be back with you all. In fact, I was physically in person with some of you over the holiday season. How nice was that? Look at Chooch with the cute little corgi emote. Keep them coming.
That's what she said.
All right, we're bound to reach the next level of the hype train.
You are one pathetic loser.
Good one. Love that. Are the sound alerts coming through? As you all know, I spend a lot of time before we go live trying to make sure everything is working as it should be. But, you know, when you're hosting a live broadcast, things are bound to mess up. So hopefully you're hearing everything as intended. Also, I got to give some love. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have to open up a merch shop. Check me out. What? Come on, the official. Shout out to my guy Big G for the very thoughtful gift, the R&B exclusive 1-of-1 hoodie. Bang. Super dope. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And I think it's fire. I mean, we'll open up a merch shop and start selling these things. So there you go. Anyway, thank you, bro. Hoping you're having a wonderful day as well if you're not here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
Yeah, I was saying I was just in Florida for the holidays, and it was so wonderful to be with you all, especially my mom and dad and so many of my friends and family back there. And I've been telling everybody back here in Tromsø just how fortunate I was to be in the sunshine, okay? Hand claps for that. So this time of year in northern Norway, it's quite dark and it is literally frozen. I gave you all a very colorful background wallpaper today, even though I wanted it to really hit home, but it's fine. Frozen tundra, quite literally. So much so that there's literal ice on your car doors where you go to get in the car. You can't even open the car door because it is frozen solid. Not a joke. Wish I was joking. But it's cool. There he is. Look at Guillaume, my guy. Thank you again, Brody.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind.
Yeah, rocking it tough. Super tough. Love it. But being in Florida was wonderful for so many reasons. I got to hit so many of my favorite food spots, from the Chick-fil-A's to the hibachi table. I mean, it was really sick. But the best part of all that, outside of spending time, my mom and dad's... Oh! Appreciate you, baby. Bang! Good looking out, Shoutout. My mom and dad's cooking. Come on. Matter of fact, watch, this will make y'all even more jealous. So I missed out on Thanksgiving this year again, sadly. I have made it home for Thanksgiving a couple of times, but this year my mom and dad promised. They were like, listen, Rye, we'll fry you a turkey for Christmas. We'll do Thanksgiving and Christmas during the 10 days that you'll be here. And sure enough, they delivered. They delivered. So fried turkey, if you've never had it, it's the best way to do so. Shout out to Russ Barber. As a matter of fact, I can do that officially. Ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to you, Dad. You killed it, man. The turkey was exquisite. Now, I don't want to take away from her shine, okay? Let's let it be known. Chucha Barber is an amazing cook, but we all knew that. But go on and give it to her.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
Shout out to you. And shout out to Miss Ross in the chat one time. Bang! Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep those emotes coming, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, love it. Amazing. Top to bottom, great trip. The only bad thing I can say about it, I think, is that it went by too fast. You know what I mean? But I'm very happy. There she is. I'm very happy to be back in Norway and settled in and back in my routine. In fact, shameless plug, I'm proud to have been so very consistent with my training this week. And again, shout out to my fellow teammates in the chat who train with me, both in Florida and in Norway. So we're all about wellness, staying healthy, and the like. So do that and make 2025 your year. Chucha says, thank you, everyone in the chat is invited to dinner tonight. Dang. Well, good news is there's probably only 6 people at max in the chat right now. So you'll be quite fine. Russ Barber says he'll make the turkey. Bang. Well, if he hooks it up like he did before, it's damn good. Matter of fact, one more again, just cuz. God, I love that. He hasn't made his presence known unless I've missed it. Where's my guy AeroRising? Huh? The reason I bring his name up is because he deserves full credit for so many of those sound bites that you hear throughout the show. Shout out to you, bro. And stick around because he's back. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to debuting this week's Anthony's Part of the Show.
I'm Anthony, he's Anthony, it's Anthony's part of the show.
So stay tuned for that. Chucha says he's sleeping. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's about what, 7:30 in Florida? No, he's probably been up for at least an hour and a half, I would think. As you get older, you wake up earlier and earlier. It's just what you do. But I'm sure he'll grace us with his presence before he likes to make an entrance, you know? So he'll probably wait for the movie preview game and then hit y'all with maybe one of these. Who knows? All right. So much to cover in such a little bit of time. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to bring up the first segment, which is basically that I get to shamelessly plug some new music. That's right, R&B, baby. That's essentially what he does, kind of, sort of, right? R&B is the artist. Ryan's the guy talking to you. So it's been several weeks since we were last together. I know, and I hate saying this out loud because I don't want to manifest anything for myself, but I sadly I got sick. There was a virus going around, at least amongst my colleagues and so many other people. So I got a little sick. This was before year end, and then Christmas came up, and then we had the travel. So it was a lot going on. Sorry to leave you hanging. Sorry to leave you waiting. But we're back. Bang! So forget all that. It's a new year. The reason I say that is simply because there was some time in between where I could focus on doing a little bit of music. It's, believe it or not, it's difficult to do the live stream and music. You only get 2 days in a weekend, and there's so much that goes on with producing these shows, but it's all a creative outlet. So I'm happy to be here with y'all. I look forward to more and more shows coming up, but I am also proud of these records. So this first one is titled She's Cold. Here it is. And we're gonna give you a little snippet. So here's what this sounds like. Let me turn down the lo-fi just a little bit. Just a snippet, just a little sample. Check it.
Tell your ex who get it wetter, he need to pipe down. She the coldest, she the coldest. Fur coat, super cozy. I'm your man if you want it.
Hey.
Make your coffee every morning, baby.
All right.
The coldest, she the coldest.
She cold.
Pretty and she knows it.
All right.
I hope you sleeping over.
Shout out to R&B. So Shiko is actually available right now, both on the SoundCloud as well as Spotify. That one can be found either or wherever you get your kicks. Ladies and gentlemen, AeroRising says, you said live in 25, and I literally thought live in 25 minutes. Good thing I still came on here. You misread that text. There was an apostrophe before the number live in 25 as if to say 2025. It's 2025. The year, not the time. That's probably my bad. I could have better crafted that message for you. Sorry, A&T, but we're very happy to have you here. We've already given you some shout outs. Stay tuned. Stick around. My guy. All right. So that was She's Cold. And again, you can find that one on SoundCloud or Spotify. One more time, R&B. But wait, there's more. That's right. I got another one for you, ladies and gentlemen. This one's called Let the Horns Play.
Animated when I'm agitated. We in the cage and you out of shape. It's aggravating. My elbow off the ropes, dog, it decapitates you. You snitching, ain't you? You signing papers like affidavits. I fucking hate you. You disgust me in abomination. I'm getting lucky in the front seat of your mama's pacer. Triple H is my pedigree. Suck it, haters.
Get it?
Always ready, she better be, or she terminate.
Hey! All right, so this one's got more of a hip-hop feel. In fact, I drew inspiration. If you know the artist, shout out to Action Bronson one time. It's kind of like that. He often references wrestling and other things within his raps, and so I take from that. Naturally, there's an affinity there. So one more again, shout out to R&BZ. This one can be found on the SoundCloud, and we just dropped a themed video on YouTube as well. The lyric video, as a matter of fact. So one more time, that is Let the Horns Play. All right, shameless plugs, because why not? It's my show. It's the only opportunity I really have to promote these things. And I'm very, very, very excited to share with you that there is a potential, don't quote me, but there is a potential collaboration with our very own in-house producer, at least one of them. Shout out to Not Your First, because we might be cooking up something for y'all too. Bang. All right. Chucha says, can't find a Japanese emoji for Shadow. Well, there are several of them, at least in your iOS keyboard. But shout out to Shadow one time, bang. I don't know if he wants his business put out there, but since you did it, Mom, we'll go ahead. Shadow had the privilege of traveling to Japan for his birthday. Yep, and it looked like he had an amazing trip. He was with the fan bam and some close friends, and he did a lot. And I'll let him tell it, but very happy to see those photos and videos, and I hope you had an amazing time, Brody. Shout out to you. I think it's a wonderful experience to have the privilege of traveling the world.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
There he is. Shout out to you, Shadow. Bang. All right, cool. We're going to keep this show rolling, ladies and gentlemen, because, again, I know I'm sensitive to your time. It's Saturday. It's the weekend. Y'all are busy. You got things to do. It's Hope's birthday. Come on. And we've got a lot more to cover. So without further ado, there's a segment on the show that's recurring. I don't always get the opportunity to talk to you about it. Arrow says, things to see, people to do.
That's what she said.
All right, not bad. Forget the teaser. Let's just do it. Y'all know what it is. This one's called Put You on the Game. All right, Put You on the Game. This is an opportunity for R&B to tell you about something cool, whether it's in the world of technology, innovation, topical events, current events, etc. It could be anything, quite frankly. In weeks past, we've been doing word and phrase origins, which is pretty cool. And shout out to Chucha Barber one more time.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
I say that because it was Chucha's idea to put us on the game with these word origins and phrases. So shout out to her again. Love that. But today, it's a more traditional Put You on the Game. Now, look, I have to concede that we haven't met in the last several weeks. I know, I'm disappointed too. So this is technically old news, all right? It's old news at this point. That being said, I'm hopeful that some of y'all might not yet be up on game, and therefore maybe I still have the opportunity to tell you about something you didn't really know about, or maybe you heard about it and didn't understand it all. So without further ado, I say that a lot. I'm gonna try to work on that. Today's Put You on the Game segment is about Google's Willow chip. Bang. All right. So here we go. Y'all ready? I took notes. I'm going to give it to y'all that way. Quantum computing is making headlines again, and Google's new chip, Willow, pardon me. I still have a little bit of a cough, so if I have to do that periodically, just bear with me. Can't shake this little bug. Google's computer chip Willow is taking center stage, ladies and gentlemen. Before we dive into what makes Willow so exciting, I'd like to briefly explain, to the best of my abilities, what quantum computing is and why it matters. All right, hit the quabbity asterisk one time. If you know, you know. AeroRising says, shout out to Val Kilmer. Willow! I wanted to... Thank you for that. I wanted to cut a clip from Willow to put it in here, pause. Time got away from me, as it does. But that's all right. You made the joke, my man. I can always count on you, buddy. If you don't know about Willow, ladies and gentlemen, the movie, go check that out for yourselves. All right. What is quantum computing? We're putting you on game. You ready? Chucha says, computing on steroids. Pretty good. Pretty good. That's exactly right. A little more specific than that. Traditional computers use bits. Ones and zeros, essentially, to process information, right? So many of us have heard this, and some of us in the chat are even experts at this. Shout out to my guy Fedme one time. Quantum computers use qubits? Qubits? I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, but that's the word Qubits. Qubits? Which can be both 1 and 0. I'm going to say that one more time. Traditional computing, bits, ones or zeros. Qubits can be ones and zeros simultaneously. That's wild. And this is all thanks to quantum mechanics. Okay, it's getting well beyond my understanding, but I took notes. I'm trying to help y'all out. AeroRising says fake ass Michukaku, more like Michukaka. Hey, can we give Ant some love for that? When you say that one out loud, it's pretty funny. Kaka. That's a funny word. All right. So the bits can be both ones and zeros, apparently. And this lets quantum computers solve problems much faster by exploring so many possibilities all at once, potentially revolutionizing the fields of AI, medicine, renewable energy, and more. So, in a very rudimentary, how you like that? In a very simplistic breakdown, that's quantum computing. Okay, now let's talk about Google's Willow. You ready? Why Willow is a game changer? Well, one, unbelievable speed. Google's Willow chip completed a computation in 5 minutes that would take the fastest supercomputers 10 septillion years. All right, let's pause for that. I don't think we can wrap our brains around how long 10 septillion years is. It's a number so big that literally it's beyond comprehension. So that's one, okay? Unbelievable speed. Two, fewer errors. Willow solves one of quantum computing's biggest challenges, which is to say reducing errors as systems scale up. It brings us closer to practical, large-scale quantum computers. Now watch this. This is where it gets a little kooky, okay? Put your tinfoil hats on. But this is real, ladies and gentlemen. This is founded in real science, okay? The multiverse debate. Some physicists, okay, they think quantum computing supports this idea of a parallel universe, multiple universes, in fact, suggesting that Willow's power might involve calculations happening across multiple realities. I'm going to summarize that for you one more time. Physicists, okay, individuals of a learned nature, okay, they believe that quantum computing might in fact prove the theory of there being a multiverse, and the way in which these computers are able to calculate these incomprehensible solutions in such a speedy time is because they're working in concert together across universes. Shit is wow. Expert views, y'all ready? While some, like physicist David Dutch, I believe, back this multiverse idea, others argue quantum mechanics doesn't require alternate realities to work. Okay, so some believe in it, some don't. Fair enough. Why all this matters? Well, Willow is still experimental, but it does show incredible promise for solving problems that we can't tackle today, from climate modeling to drug discovery and advanced encryption. It's also sparking deep questions about how reality works and where this technology might take us. I'm gonna leave you with this. Whether or not Willow proves the existence of parallel universes, it is clear that quantum computing is changing the game, baby. What are we doing?
We testing the game.
Oh yeah, and the future of this technology is as fascinating as it is groundbreaking. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting you on the game. AeroRising says, isn't it weird that we can't possibly compute that centillion number with our brains, but somehow we know that this shit can compute it? How do we know it can compute something that we can't compute? I don't know. I'm trusting the scientists on this one, all right? I don't know what the formula was or the equation that it figured out or the encryption, etc., but I do believe that the future is both very bright and promising and also very scary and odd all at the same time. And ladies and gentlemen, just saying it aloud feels odd, okay? We live in the year, according to the calendar, 2025. It is quite literally the future. Ant says, it's okay. I had to drive 30 minutes to a 75-year-old client's office yesterday to explain copying and pasting a link. I think we've all been there, sadly. That's a little basic, but it happens. But, you know, it's a wild time. All right, putting you on the game. That was fun. I'm going to hit the button one more time because why not? Cool segment. I hope you dug it. Quantum computing. You got a little info there. And Google's Willow chip. Willow! Maybe you didn't hear about that before. Putting you on the game. All right, now watch this. There's an incoming ad break, so it says on my OBS to let y'all know about that. Here's good news. If you are a subscriber, first of all, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You don't have to be, but I'm grateful. You don't get ads, so that's pretty cool. The other reason I'm telling you this is because I desperately want to make love to a schoolboy. It's from WW. All right. No. Matter of fact, forget want. One day, we're gonna manifest, okay? One day, this show will indeed be sponsored. Thank you, AeroRising. I appreciate that. I hope I got a little love from you there. Chucha says, when are you coming here? I could use a little help. That's funny. I was just there, babe. But I tell you what, here's a shameless plug. Coming back at some point, I hope, we will be doing a digital senior moment. All right? We'll do all that. There she is. So, an ad, not you, Ant, that's cold. Ant says, I'll sponsor it right now. AeroRising, $1 a month. Hey, a sponsor is a sponsor. We'll take it. We do promote AeroRising on the show, both in Anthony's part of the show and in the show notes. If ever you read the description that is both posted on Twitch and YouTube, you'll see the shameless plugs for both Anthony Nicholas Rising as an artist and contributor to the show.
Thank you. Far too kind.
And AeroRising, so bang. But where I was going with all of that before the commentary, one day this show will be sponsored. And I look forward to that because it will help supplement some of the investments that we can make use of, like contest giveaways, prizes, making the stream better, but also because I grew up in an age of marketing, and in my past I did some of that, and I would love to promote products, companies, things, people that I believe in and think are dope, right? And I think I've got a decent little radio guy voice, and I would love to cut some promos. And so to bring it all to fruition, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Now, I'm not saying we're gonna do this every episode, but I'm gonna introduce the world right now to the very first R&B ad break, okay? Now, originally I was gonna cut this promo similar to how you see across major popular podcasts where it just kind of cuts in and it's a pre-recorded segment. But then I thought, look, I'm a live streamer. Let's go on ahead and do this thing live. We can read just as well as we can rehearse it and record it. So I'm about to give you all a mock-up of what an ad break might look like in the hopes that we might get some endorsement and sponsorships on the show at some point. Can you dig that? Normally I won't tee it up quite this way, but for the first one, I thought I might as well explain why I'm doing this, because I don't just want to promote something, even though I do think what I'm about to tell y'all about is pretty damn cool. I'm also doing this to set kind of the style and tempo of the show going forward when we in fact do get sponsors. AeroRising says, in the announcer voice, today's episode sponsored by the Mary Brogan Museum of Art and Science, where they give you the tools to learn how to learn. Look at you! Sadly, you know, the Brogan went out of business a long time ago. AeroRising says, I'm on ad break, by the way, but it's all good. See, you're not a subscriber, dog. And we needed you a little while ago. There was a hype train, homie, and that was pretty epic. Didn't sound quite like this, but just because. All right, we had a hype train. And shout out to everybody that contributed to that. AeroRising says, I missed your voiceover, but I can read your lips and saw that you did. I hope you watched the playback. It was decent. The only thing that you missed was that the Brogan is closed, dog. Sorry. Hopester, the birthday girl, she says, but what you learned from the Brogan, that is forever. Absolutely it is. Shout out to the Mary Brogan one time. AeroRising says, I was on another hype train in my room. Okay. All right. I don't want the show to drag on, ladies and gentlemen. What I want to do now is introduce you to something that I think is literally cool AF. You ready? Check us out. This episode of Testing the Game is not sponsored, but you can imagine what it would be like if it was. I do want to tell you about an app that I came across on TikTok, however. It was a cooking video, and at the end of it, a young lady takes a photo of her plate, and all the macros just popped up on screen. If you're like me, you've probably tried tracking your calories before. Let's be honest, it sucks. Weighing out your food, writing it all down, tedious. Am I right? Estimating portion sizes, total guesswork. Cal AI changes the game. You literally just take a picture of your food and bam, calories, protein, carbs, fat, all figured out for you. It's like having a nutritionist in your pocket. Their AI is dope. It uses your phone's depth sensor to calculate the volume of your food. It breaks it down and even scans barcodes. Now look, it's not perfect, but the image scanning feature is generally 90% accurate. And if the AI gets something wrong, well, there's a fix results button. You help it learn and it gets better. So stop stressing over calorie counting and let Cal AI do the heavy lifting. See what I did there? Download it today and start crushing your fitness and wellness goals. Seriously, it's a game changer. Cal AI, track your calories with just a picture. Chill. How'd I do? Not bad, not bad. There was one little flub in there, and that's why you pre-record these things. But decent, and I didn't really rehearse it. I did type it all up naturally, but thank you, Chooch. I appreciate that. AeroRising gives me the, it's good, my man. Cal AI, and look, I believe in this app, all right? I've been using it for the last 2 weeks, and it's cool. For the longest time, I just wanted to, here's the real truth. Weighing out your intake is a job in itself, and so that gets old super quick. Now, if you eat the same things consistently, you get good at knowing your portion sizes and all of that. But what happens for me is I eat lunch at a cantina at work, and hats off to everybody in the building because they serve us amazing food, but it changes just about every day, and so too does the portion sizes change. So having the ability to take a photo of that, look at that. A gifted sub. Shadow says, make sure you clip it. Bang. I don't know that I know how to do that, but I hope it works out. So again, simple and plain. Take a photo of your food, it analyzes that, and it tells you how many calories, how much protein, etc. And it's not perfect. I'm not professing that it is, but it is a great way to stay accountable and stay healthy in 2025. AeroRising says, Al and Cal Borland. That's the only Cal he knows. Get it? Cal. Shadow says, I tried on phone, but can only quip. I can only clip for 29 seconds. That's all right, big dog. Shout out to you, and thank you for that reminder to do so. I can try to do it later. The other truth is I wanted that promo to be about as clean as it could be, and I didn't have the time to pre-record it and play it for y'all, so I thought, well, I could do it live, and there was one small little mess up, so I'm not happy about that. But we'll do it again next week, and maybe that'll be a better version, or I will record one, and we'll use that. But either way, at least we'll have something to start shopping. Yeah. You are one pathetic loser. Thank you. I appreciate the look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the ad break. Coming up next, quite possibly a few of, I say this about every segment, but it's true. Some of y'all love the reading. Actually, one of y'all loves the reading. Some of y'all really love the movie preview game. Shout out to those individuals. Some of y'all dig the review. A couple of us love this next segment, and he's here, and so we're gonna play it now for you. AeroRising says, when I'm eating is one of the few times I'm not on my phone.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening.
All right, I get what he's saying.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
What's the procedure? Thank you for that, Shadow. Oh my God. Everybody stay calm. Ant says when he's eating, he's not on his phone. Now he's taking pictures of his phone. Just exercise. That's a motto. What's a motto? Let's see if I got that for you.
It's our motto.
What's the motto?
Nothing. What's the motto for you?
I hate why that sound alert is so low. Not by itself, but the volume is poor. Anyway, doesn't fucking matter. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is... Y'all ready? Let's see if I can give it a drum roll. Why not? Oh, Ant says he saw Mufasa, by the way. Hold that thought. Tell us more about it. Until then, enjoy. Anthony's part of the show.
I'm Anthony. He's Anthony. It's Anthony's part of the show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm here in Bainbridge, Georgia, on the Chattahoochee River to play disc golf with my wife, who is behind the camera. Now, admittedly, she probably only came because I promised her we'd stop by Wawa. Ooh, it's actually pretty nipply out here right now. I think the high is like 55, 60 today. It's probably 50-ish right now. I'm feeling a little frisky. So look at this beautiful, look at the rocks. Boats come under here. The basket's over there with the flag waving on it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play from the long tee, the pro tee, and she'll play from the short tee that's over the water already. It's just a great day to play disc golf, and I'm glad to be back with you guys, and I hope you enjoy this. Here we are, hole one. It's windy, it's cold, I'm scared. I gotta get it over the water, make it bend right. I'm not throwing a sidearm with cold hands. I'm gonna throw it straight ahead. If the disc bends, so be it. Maybe I'll get a birdie, but even if I put it within 20 feet, it's so windy. So from the pro pad, I'm thinking just take my par, get the hell out of here. Throw it straight ahead. If it bends, it bends. It's bending. It's going. Oh! Probably won't make that putt. It's so windy. But great shot for me right out the gates. Here we are. She's just going to aim right of this middle tree right here, hopefully. Get it around it and get that guaranteed par. Unfortunately, she's just gonna have to toss it around here. Nice and easy. This is what's called an upshot, an approach shot. Just get as close as you can. Goodbye, my love. Oh, good little kickback right there. Here's my shot for the birdie from the pro pad. I'm not even gonna putt it too hard. Just nice and soft. If not, take my par. Oh, tickle. Par. Son of a gun. That's it. Hole one at Bainbridge Oaks. The wind is a disc golfer's #1 enemy. Our kryptonite. I mean, look at this flag. These things do not do what you want them to do in the wind. It's just tough. This is what we do. Chattahoochee River behind me. Disc golf to the right of me. It's a beautiful day out here. And I'm glad you guys came along with me, and I just want you to remember, everything means nothing, but some things mean everything.
Anthony's part of the show.
Chill! Shout out to you one more again. Both Aero and AeroRising. Thank you for that segment.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Super duper dope. AeroRising says, good thing I had it in the holster. Dope. Very pretty. It was super windy out there. However, that's a little part of home for my Norwegian connects. That's Georgia, right up the road from where we're from. Pretty dope all the way around. Looking forward to more of those segments, A&T. Keep them coming.
That's what she said.
Look at that. Come on.
Thank you.
You're doing so much love in the chat today. Matter of fact, I haven't played this button yet, but this is what it should sound like when you hear the subs. Thank you again. That deserved a sub. Aw. Well, for that, Aunt says pub sub. For that, Mom, we give you this.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
Thank you all for all of the support. Thank you for being with me, for tuning in, all that jazz. Moving right along. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is the movie preview game. Now, I'm going to remind you all how this works, but first, we've got some things to say and acknowledge. Y'all ready for this? Dun, dun, dun. So, first things first, the belt. Bang! That's the movie preview game strap 101, custom joint belonging to Testing the Game.
We testing the game.
Oh yeah, AeroRising says, I hate that you can still kind of tell that it's me on the soundbite. I wanted it to sound nothing like me. That's all right, man. Look, it's you. We know it's you. We love that it's you. Give them hand claps, make them feel good about it. They're great. All of the sound bites are. We hit the. Oh, matter of fact, this one might be my favorite.
R-U-S-S.
Come on. I love that one. So shout out to both you and Russ, because that one's sick. And says, Chucha, thank you for the gifted sub. Love that. All right, so the movie preview game, we're back. That's the belt that you're playing for. Now look, it's a virtual belt, but you're playing for pride, okay? You want to win this thing. How does it work, Rye? Well, I'll tell you. In just a few moments, I'm going to throw up a gradient frame that appears on screen. You'll know what I mean when I show it to you. Inside that gradient is going to be a movie trailer. And all you have to do is be the first person to guess the full name, or tell me if you know it, the full name of the trailer in the chat. And what do you win? Well, one more time, you win some acknowledgement and recognition. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and give our flowers out. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring is your 11-time movie preview game champion.
Let me start with, up north is where my heart is. Yankees, baby, NY till I die, no lie. I've been through some tough times, some rough climbs. You think you had a bad life, you ain't heard about mine. My dad was selling drugs in the ghetto where I'm from. Running from the cops, Tallahassee, here I come. I wanted to go back, if I could, then I would. Thank the Lord I didn't, cause that shit was
for the good. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for none other than AeroRising. He is an 11-time champion. Russ Barber says, I need a minute for the movie preview game. Gotta get my computer out, look up movie previews. Decent. I got another one for you, Dad, just cuz.
I wanna know who Russ is. I want him to show me.
That's a funny one. I love it. Chucha says Moana 2. No, darling, it's not Moana 2, but you keep on guessing that. That's a callback. Love you for it. Ant says, I haven't done any research, but I feel like over the holidays, I did see a lot of trailers. Well, we're counting on you, big guy. You are the defending champ, but I hope, and I hope Hope is still here, the birthday girl. One more time for her. I hope someone takes that title from you. Let's go ahead and take that photo down. All right. I do, however, want to give some additional shine to our former champions, ladies and gentlemen. This is the leaderboard. You can see Ant's name at the top of that list with 11. Bang. But under him is Joan Roa, or as I refer to him, Don Diego. And also with one, both Shadow 1311 and Miss Carmen Sandiego. And why not? All right, so shout out to all of our champions. Wishing you all the best of luck today. Let's see if we can't get a couple more names on the list. Huh? Come on. Where in the world is she? Get it? All right, so we're gonna leave our belt and our current champion's name there at the bottom of the screen, but as I shared with you, we're gonna throw up that gradient. Go on ahead and do that for me, if you would. There it is. Bang. So that's the gradient frame I was telling you about, and in just a second, I'm gonna lower the lo-fi music, and I'm gonna play a trailer. and you just have to say the name of the title of the movie in the chat. Now, if you win the movie preview game 3 times, R&B is gonna take you to the movies. What? That's right, I'm gonna buy you some movie tickets. Ant can attest, he has won 2 tickets, I believe, though I don't know if he ever used them or made use, but either way, he said he saw Mufasa, maybe he used his movie tickets to go see that. Congrats, and I don't know when the next award ceremony is for you, big guy. I mean, I guess maybe 15 wins. Does that sound fair, everybody? Say yes in the chat if you want to give Ant some additional movie tickets once he gets to 15. If you think it should be 20 or some other number, let us know what you think in the chat. All right. Everybody ready? I hope you're familiar. You know how this game goes. I know I love it. I know some of y'all love it. Some of y'all take a lot of pride in knowing these movies. So I hope you feel like I choose good ones. I don't know if you've seen today's, but I'm not going to give you any hints. We're just going to roll this thing, turning down the lo-fi. Okay. Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. This is this week's movie preview game.
There have been 2 moments in my life when I was happiest. The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I love him.
I'm Iris. And the second, the day I killed him.
Just relax. Remember to smile and act happy.
Dang, look at that. Congratulations, AeroRising. You killed it, bro. 12 times. All right, everybody else just enjoy the rest of the ride.
Iris, wake up.
Game over.
What are you doing? Shut her down already.
What is she talking about, Josh?
Looks cool.
This was not part of the plan.
I didn't mean to.
No mercy, no law.
Did you jailbreak your sex bot?
Wow, Josh.
This is the future,
The days
ladies
of
and
you
gentlemen.
controlling me are over.
Are you breaking up with me?
It's not you. It's me.
Companion.
Yeah, she's tied up inside, so she's not going anywhere. Eli, Iris. Shh, baby, you're on the phone.
There it is. Congratulations, AeroRising. One more time. Play his theme music if you would.
Let me start with I'm nervous where my heart is. Yankees, baby, and why till I die, no lie. I've been through some tough times, some rough climbs. You think you had a bad life, you ain't heard about mine. My dad was selling drugs in the ghetto where I'm from. Running from the cops, Tallahassee, here I come.
Congrats again. Remix. That was an accidental button hit, but we'll take it nevertheless. I don't know how he does it, ladies and gentlemen, but he does, and he is a 12-time champion. Ant says, one of the ones he had in his mind right away. Soon as the font and the color of the poster came up, he knew, because they had a poster at the movie theater this weekend. Well, that sounds about right. You got to keep your eyes open. You know what I mean? You got to just be taking in all the potential movie posters and trailers and marketing promo pieces that you can lay eyes on. He says he will not be seeing that. That's a shame. I think it looks great. So again, that's the future, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have these AI robots, and eventually they'll probably kill us all. Okay. Ant says, just noticed the Michael Jackson pillow in the back. There he is. Can we hit the Billie Jeans one time? Yeah, we can. That was a wonderfully thoughtful gift from none other than AeroRising, I think several years ago. It's been in Tallahassee, but I brought that one home with us so Mike could be chilling in the back. Chill! Chucha says, please tell us again how your mind works. That's a callback to a game night that we were having. My mom, Anthony, and I were playing trivia, and at one point, Ant had come up with the right answer for this arbitrary question that nobody thought any one of us would have known. He was like, let me tell y'all how my mind works. But it steel trap, that one. Steel trap. Ant says Robert Redford. There he is. That's an inside thing. It's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Recognizer, one more time, our defending and still movie preview game champion, AeroRising. All right, we're gonna take down the belt. Try to find it right. There he is. Take the name away. Coming up now. Y'all ready for this? I've seen a lot of movies and various series over the past several weeks. We haven't been together for some time. Aww. I know. But some of y'all were like, right, pare the list down a little bit. So I theoretically could have given you all maybe 12 titles, but I spared you and I narrowed it down and I've chosen a few. I think you're going to like most of them. Let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the movie series review.
It's only a movie.
Just look over your shoulders, honey.
Yeah!
Good morning, Vietnam!
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns that would necessitate an entire rack.
Snakes? Snakes. I don't know no snakes.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Hey, you guys!
Enjoy your remaining years.
I will. Enjoy fucking jewels.
I will.
That Veronica Vaughn is one piece of ace.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Alrighty then.
Get your popcorn ready. Chill. Everybody ready for this? Let's do it. Jumping right into it, I watched several titles on the plane rides between Norway and the US. And let me just break that down for you all so you can empathize with your boy. He's exhausted. He's exhausted. My travel itinerary went like this. Tromsø to Oslo. Oslo to Copenhagen. Copenhagen to Boston. Boston to Jacksonville. God dang, that's a lot of plane rides. The good news is there was basically zero layover. So as soon as I got off one plane, I got onto the next. And that's why it was designed that way, because the alternative with less flights would have meant hours and hours of layover. So we opted out of that. But because I had so many planes to ride on, I had a lot of movies to watch. And so your first movie this week is one of those. Now look, we all know that the selection on a plane is quite limited. And when you're a movie buff like we are, you've seen almost all the titles anyway. So I looked for something I haven't seen to keep my attention for at least an hour and a half to 2. And this one came up and I thought, well, I like this young lady. Let's give it a shot. So first up is Am I Okay? Starring Dakota Johnson. It also stars, and I forgive any mispronunciations, Sonoya Mizuno and Jermaine Fowler. Directors Tig Notaro and Stephanie Aline. Shout out. There's some love in the chat. I want to make sure I say some. Ant says, you could have went to Tallahassee to Thomasville and you'd still be exhausted. Hey, touche. For those that don't know, Thomasville is literally right up the road. It's like 10, 15 minutes at the most. Chucha says, Shadow probably saw a couple on his trip too. Bang, indeed he did. Shout out to you, both of y'all. Shadow says, not many new ones though. Ant says, Tig Notaro, get it right or pay the price. What did I say? Am I, Tig? Did I say Tig? It's probably Tig. Said it wrong again. Well, I can't hear you pronounce it. Look, I said forgive any mispronunciations. Stop grilling me. All right, so what is Am I Okay about? Well, it's a heartfelt comedy that explores a late-coming journey of self-discovery. Lucy, played by Dakota Johnson, faces her evolving identity and leans on her best friend Jane for support, testing the strength of their bond. Aww. It's a cool flick. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was great for a plane ride. Do I think it's amazing? Sadly, no. But is it cute? Is it worth watching? Sure it is. And I think Dakota Johnson's pretty great. Check it out. Am I okay? That's it. We're going to keep them short and sweet. Da-da-da-da. Many of y'all have shared with me that the movie preview segment goes a little long. You're a little long in the tooth there, buddy. Why don't you pare it down? Maybe we'll be better for it. So it's still a mega movie review today. As a reminder, whenever we see 5 titles or more, we call it a mega movie review. And so there you go. But I did spare you. I saw several other titles that I thought, I'm not even going to mention those on stream. If we talk about it, great. But so I'm paring them down. All right. And the other thing that we do on the show is we typically start off with those that I didn't love, and we get into those that I really enjoyed. And hopefully you all will agree. And if you've seen them, chime in. Let me know what you thought. We'll talk about it. Shadow says, need to run. We'll be back in a few minutes. Aww. Well, for you, buddy, what is his name?
Federico. Fede.
Come on back whenever you can. I know you're working, Brody. Thank you for being here. We'll see you soon. All right. Now, this next title coming up is actually a throwback or a callback to a movie preview game that was held several weeks ago. I don't know if you all recall. I got a sidebar. You ready? I have conversations with some of you all, and you'll mention some of the movies that we've talked about and showcased on the show as if I've never seen them before. And I think to myself, damn, y'all really don't be paying attention to the live because we just talked about this on the live stream. But it's all right. I don't fault you. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. It's all up. Coming up next is a movie titled Nightbitch. Now, I love Amy Adams, but here's what it is. Directed by Marielle Heller and starring Amy Adams, as you see in the poster. It's based on Rachel Yoder's novel. This darkly comedic film follows a stay-at-home mom, Amy Adams, who becomes convinced that she's turning into a dog, exploring themes of motherhood and repressed primal instincts. When we showcased the trailer, I thought this film was something totally different than what it ended up being. And I will say that I didn't particularly love the film overall, but primarily because I went into it thinking it was something that it wasn't. I thought it was like a werewolf movie. Okay? I mean, I thought it was a clever pun. Nightbitch, she turns into a female dog at night, right? And it is a play on that, but look, we don't do spoilers on the show. Some of y'all ain't gonna watch this anyway. I'm not giving away anything. I think the question is, it's philosophical, all right? Does she turn into a dog or doesn't she? I mean, if anybody has seen it, help me out because their opinions may vary, if you understand. So, whereas I thought it was like a she-wolf type movie and was gonna be kind of fun and adventurous and maybe dark horror or whatever, it isn't that. What I did think was very cool was that it was super insightful as it relates to what it's probably like for many women who are stay-at-home mothers. And that was deep for me because naturally I'm not that, and I have some close friends that are. Shout out to all of y'all. But it was commentary on, and not just mothers, but oftentimes, more often than not, I would assume and say, it's the moms that end up sacrificing their careers and passions to stay at home and help raise the child, while the dad continues usually with their career and what they do. And then sometimes there's conflict there because one individual is doing their thing and they have to be gone for so long, whereas the other parent is always with the child. And so when the other parent has the opportunity to be around and they kind of are a bit dismissive or don't do some of the things that are expected, it gets heavy. So it was kind of a commentary on all of that and so much more. And I found that to be very insightful, but it wasn't the movie that I thought it was. So there you go. But that was Nightbitch. Ant says, I'd have to be on a flight. I don't know if that's a good one, but I'll take it. One more time. Her name is Chucha.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
Love that. Ant says, callback, how do you pronounce the word big? Now just say it with a T. Tig. Okay, I'm done. You know, not all words that are pronounced, or rather spelt the same, are pronounced the same way. And in my mind, I know the name Chrissy Teigen, and so I think I see T-I-G, and I think Teagan. But okay, you're probably right. Shout out to you. Anyway, Hopester says, have not seen the movie, but I promise you, a mother's protectiveness knows no bounds. We help bury bodies for those that hurt our kids. Bang! Shout out to you, Hopester. One more gift for the birthday girl. And yeah, so since there's some commentary in the chat, I'll take this opportunity. I think the relationship between her and again, this is a spoiler. I don't know if it's in her imagination or if she does indeed turn into a dog. There are things that happen that make you think she did, and there are things that don't happen and you're like, is this happening? So you let me know what you think. But the reason why there's this metaphor of turning into a dog at night, I think is complex, but one of the reasons is because giving birth and being a mother is so very primal. So to Hope's point, because you protect your children always. And then I think there's also this desire in the movie's case, in Book's case, for her wanting more out of life. And it's usually at night when the child is asleep that she feels like she can finally be free of those responsibilities. And so she owns the night and becomes a dog and runs the streets. But again, is it real or isn't it? All right, so there you go. Nightbitch, it was cute, it was fun, it was insightful. Not the movie I thought it was, but decent enough. Bang. Ant says, top 5 woman stand-up. Gotta know it. Oh, Tig. Are we going back to Tig? Okay. And if I'm wrong again, sorry. But I think I do know who that is now that you've mentioned that. All right. We're going to keep this thing moving right along. Now, this next one, let me just go on record. Now, remember, we start low and a little high. I enjoyed this next one more than the last two. Is it meaningful? Not at all. It's just entertainment, but there is a franchise that comes along with it. And again, appreciate that I watched this on an airplane. So your expectations are already quite low. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is Alien Romulus. And says, I'm waiting for the time we start high and finish higher. We can do that. We have had those shows. We have. All right? Don't quote me. We have. Chucha says, that's why moms are tired. Kids all day doing the dog at night.
That's what she said.
All right. That's absolutely true. All right. Alien Romulus. You ready? We're going to do the voice. In this latest chapter of the Alien Saga, a group of young colonists fight for survival when a xenomorph outbreak threatens their lives in a distant corner of the galaxy. Alien Romulus. Now watch this. I've seen so many, if not all of them. Don't quote me. I've seen just about them all, I think. The last couple, this one, I kind of enjoyed it more. Now again, they've got me as a very fixed audience member because I'm sitting in a chair. There's a little screen, maybe a foot in front of me, and I'm glued into it because I kind of have to be. And so for that, it was entertaining enough. This one is directed by Fede Alvarez. Shout out to our own Fede. One more time.
Federico, Fede.
No Sigourney Weaver, but shout out to her for setting the franchise on fire. This one stars, and I may mispronounce these names, forgive me, Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, and Archie Renault. That's probably French, but anyway. Shout out to our own Leo Big G. Alien Romulus. Here's what is cool, I think. It's a prequel and a sequel all at the same time. I think this one takes place after after the first Alien movie and before all the rest. So the juxtaposition of the timeline is quite interesting, but it's got all the classic Alien features and functions. I mean, you see the little guys in the poster there. They're basically what spread the seed.
That's what she
all right.
said.
They basically create these xenomorphs. If you don't know the lore, I'm not here to educate y'all on that. I'm just here to tell you that Alien Romulus was all right. If you like that style of movie, if you're into sci-fi, if you want a mindless movie to watch for an hour and a half or two, it's all right. Can we talk about that name, Sigourney? Yeah, there's not a lot of Sigourneys in the world. You know what's interesting? I think, thinking about it now, Sigourney is unique enough, I think, where she could be the only one, like a Madonna, right? Or a Prince, where you're just one name and everybody would know. But in my mind, she's Sigourney Weaver. And for some reason, that adds some strength to that. I don't know, Sigourney Weaver. I like it. All right. AeroRising says, need an origin segment just on that name alone. Shout out to you, brother. I would be curious. It's not American. I think she speaks multiple languages. Anyway, I didn't do any. She's not in this movie, you see. So there you go. All right, moving right along. Alien Romulus, not bad, not great, entertaining. And if you're on an airplane and it's there and you like this kind of thing, check it out. All right, now we're switching it up just a little bit. We're going into series, at least one of them. Mostly we review movies, but sometimes things we're into are series. And I want to say TV series, but they're not. They're streaming series pretty much, because that's where you watch shows these days. This one out the bag is an HBO Max joint, and it stars Colin Farrell, and it is dope, and it is The Penguin. So, if you're not up on this, I'm gonna put you on that game. And it says no spoilers. Rest assured, that's not what this show is about. He also says he's watching it soon, and I look forward to when you do. I think you're gonna dig it. So let me just tell you what it's about. No spoilers, I promise, and we'll give some flowers. Here we go. This show, this series, follows the events of the film The Batman that came out in 2022, starring Robert Pattinson. All right, so y'all know there's been a lot of iterations of Batman, right? There was the old school shows, the old school movies, the new school movies, etc., etc. So the most recent iteration of the Batman is the universe that this show takes place in. And Colin Farrell, as the character the Penguin, starred in that movie, though kind of like a minor role, at least in my mind, semi-minor. Though in this series, it's his show. All right, so I was gonna give you a spoiler. I'm not gonna do it. You just watch it, enjoy it. Poor Shadow, he tells me, I'm not gonna watch that out of spite or whatever. I'm like, Shadow, it's a good show, bro, but whatever. Moving right along. The director of the series, his name is Matt Reeves, and as I share with you, as you see in the poster, it stars none other than Colin Farrell, but also Kristen, and again, sorry for the pronunciation, Miliotti? It's probably Italian or something like that. Kristen Miliotti. I don't know how to say that. Shame on me. And also Renzi Feliz. Hand claps for them. Now, I so wish I could say her name, because the actress that is the supporting lead in this series does a fantastic job. Okay, now I love Colin Farrell, and let me say this, if you don't know it, Colin won a Golden Globe Award for Best Performance by an Actor in a miniseries or motion picture made for television. So he just won a Golden Globe for this. So for those of you that love the awards and think that that somehow validates both the success and the credibility of these shows, there you go. Maybe that's the proof you need to watch it, but it's great. And Kristen Miliotti, and again, I don't know if that's how you say your name, I'm sorry. Fantastic. She plays Sophia Falcone, the daughter of the deceased crime boss set to take over her father's empire. That's how the show begins. That's not a spoiler. That's the setting for the show. She's fantastic. It's a good one. I enjoyed it very much. Kristen Miliotti. God, God, I wish I knew how to say that. You know how Google has the audio button when you type in a foreign word or a word you don't know how to pronounce and it says it real crazy and then you can repeat it? That's what I need. Anyway, the makeup and the cinematography, it feels real. You know, it feels like you're in this version of Gotham, and it's pretty cool. Now, it's more mafia-esque than it is superhero, so if that does anything for you. Chucha says, wasn't gonna watch it, but I will now. I knew that. You know, I knew what would get you is that Golden Globe, and so I had to make note. Shout out to Chucha.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's art, and art is subjective, and I get it. Not every genre is for everybody. Some of us don't like sci-fi, so you're not going to watch Alien. Many of us might not be into comic book franchises, and so you might think on the surface, this isn't going to do it for me. But it's cooler than that in the sense that there's this whole other storyline, and it's much more. So tune in, and yes, Golden Globe winner for Best Performance by an Actor in a Miniseries or Motion Picture Made for Television. Shout out to Colin Farrell. I like Colin Farrell a whole lot. And he does a voice for the Penguin, and it's really, in fact, if you didn't know it was Colin Farrell, you might not ever know until someone told you, and you'd be like, yeah, it is, isn't it? But so shout out to him. All right. Next up, the next title is a film. We're back at that. And it's one that I enjoyed very much, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Heretic. This is another callback to a movie preview game that we hosted on the show. So sometimes I feel obligated to watch. First of all, I choose those trailers because I think they look cool. So odds are I'm going to watch those films at some point, right? And this one was great. So this one stars Hugh Grant and also Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East. Hand claps. Directors Scott Beck and Brian Woods. So if you missed the preview before, I'll tell you, it's about two young religious women who are drawn into a game of cat and mouse in the house of a strange man. The movie unravels dark secrets as they grapple with their faith and survival. It's a psychological thriller exploring the tension and trust under unsettling circumstances, but it's also much, much more than that. One of the things that I really enjoyed about it was, and I'm not spoiling anything, but in the film, there's provoking thought about religion and which religions speak to some people and why, and that's the play on words there. So if you know what a heretic is, obviously then, but in defense, I've had some conversations offline, and I agree with some of the sentiments that have been shared with me. As the film progresses, it kind of gets a little hokey, and then you're like, it started off really strong, and there was all this theology, which I thought was really great, but then it turns into a movie, and you're like, well, I understand why they did that, but meh. But Chucha says, was it a book? I don't know if it was a book. Wouldn't surprise me. Many films and series are adaptations, but regardless, it was great in the sense that it had me thinking during the first. You had me in the first half, but I like that. I won't say the movie overall was great, but I very much loved Hugh Grant's performance. Shout out to him. And the young ladies in the film did a good job as well. Relatively unknown, at least to me, no disrespect. But Hugh Grant, if you don't know Hugh Grant, right? But it's a good one. There you go. Bang. All right. I've got a couple more. And again, I'm keeping it tighter, pause, so that we can get through the show and you all can get on with your weekend, okay? There's going to be some unpopular opinions on this one. It's my show. I get to tell you what I like. Ready?
We testing the game.
That's my voice. Oh yeah. This one I enjoyed very much, particularly because it was seasonal. It came out right on time for me, and I love Jason Bateman. So without further ado, carry on. I also really like, and I have to read it because his name's odd when you read it. Taron Egerton. I don't know if it's Egerton. I'm gonna go with that. But shout out to Ed. He's dope. If you know The Kingsman, if you've seen the Elton John film, he's been in several things. I liked it. Is it a great movie? No. Is it likely to occur in reality? No. You got to suspend reality a little bit when you're watching films. But I knew it was coming. Ant says, top 5 worst movie I watched in 24. I disagree. At least that's not my opinion. He said, I wish I could carry on with my life. That's a good one. All right. What's it about, Ryan? Maybe there's a couple of us that haven't seen it. Well, it's streaming on Netflix, hence the logo in the poster. It's a It's a thriller that sees a TSA agent, Ethan Kopech, played by Egerton in the poster. He's thrust into a high-stakes game when a mysterious traveler coerces him to smuggle a deadly package through airport security. I should have done that one in the movie preview voice. I think I wrote it that way, but it's fine. In short, it's a new age take on probably a film that we've seen before. I mean, it had elements of older movies, but done in a new way. Now look, do I think this would happen in real life? Absolutely not. There are lots of security protocols and personnel. I just think it would be tough. But basically, this guy's working TSA at an airport during the holiday season. And let me remind you, when I watched it, I was wrapping presents. It was a great, no-brain activity while I'm wrapping gifts and I'm watching the movie. You know, I'm not sitting there with my popcorn ready. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was new. First of all, we love new programs and films. Sometimes you get these remakes and you're like, damn, another one? It's just like, let it die already. At least it was new in that sense. And again, I love Jason Bateman and I love Egerton, either way. Dope. I enjoyed it. All right. I did. I enjoyed it. So the guy's a TSA agent and something has to get through security. And so just watch it. I'm not going to give you the synopsis other than what I wrote because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's cool. It's fun. It's got high intensity. I think it's entertaining is all I'm going to say. Is it a great movie? Absolutely not. Is it entertaining? Fun? Worth watching? Absolutely is. All right. Any other comment? I know some of y'all saw Carry On, so help me out. Am I wrong? Was it fun? I mean, you enjoyed it, right? And again, it's a Christmas movie in the sense that it's set during Christmas, or at least right before the holidays. And so I loved the time in which it was released. Felt cool to me. Plus, mind you, I was going to visit about 4 or 5 airports in the next couple of days when I was watching it. So there was that connection too, right? I went through TSA 5 times, so there you go. Ant says, I began hating myself for watching it, just yelled at the screen, pointing out all the ridiculousness. Look, that's fair. I tried to present a realistic framework by saying that I don't think any of this would have likely occurred in real life. You have to say, just like there's no aliens that... Here we go. All right. Just like we don't turn into dogs in the middle of the night. You can imagine what it would be like if you did. Okay? Carry on. It feels real because we all know airports and TSA and what you go through. And then there's this, well, could that happen? But it was entertaining. I won't break it all down for you. Again, don't go into it expecting a fucking Golden Globe nominated picture. But I do think it's entertaining. And again, at the time that I saw it, it was fun. Chucha says, so glad I wasn't watching it with you, AeroRising. Gotta give it to her. Her name is Chucha.
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
And says, it'll get an award all right. A Razzie. A Razzie. Some of y'all, but even if you don't know what a Razzie is, you can infer the gist. All right, good stuff. Bang. Pun intended. We're off that one. All right. This one. Great. Now, some of you all are not going to feel me on this, and shame on you. But I'm telling you, it is a good ass show for so many reasons, and I love it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Squid Game! Bang! Season 2. If you don't know what that little soundbite was, I love that. I started doing that at work. And of course, I don't know the words. I don't speak Korean, but it's fun to do. If you're not up on Squid Game, I don't know that I can help you out. Let's talk about it. So this is an original Netflix series that came out, I think, a few years ago, at least the first season. And it's a Korean joint. And I don't often watch foreign films and programs, but I watched it, and I watched it in Korean with subtitles. And that's the way to watch foreign stuff. Like, if you're a fan of anime and all that, watch it in its original language because it's just different. It hits different than the dubs. It just does. That's the best way I can say that. And I loved it. I loved it. Oh, we lost our soundboard, ladies and gentlemen. That's a problem. Hold on one second. We hit that. Oh, nah, that's why we laughed. All right. Chucha says, "Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Landman." Oh, Chucha, hang in there for me, darling. No spoilers. All right, Squid Game. It's fun. And look, it is a cultural phenomenon, a global phenomenon, as a matter of fact. And if you didn't see the first season, watch it. And then it goes right into season 2. So let me do this for some of y'all that might not be as familiar, at least with season 2. You know what's coming. The gradient. When you see that, you're going to see a movie preview or a teaser trailer. This is Squid Game. Oh, that's Squid Game, but this is also Squid Game.
스마일.
이 자리에 오신 여러분을 진심으로 환영합니다. 여러분들은 매 게임이 끝날 때마다 투표를 통해 그때까지 적립된 상금을 가지고 이곳을 나가실 수 있습니다.
저건 뭐야?
무궁화꽃이 피었습니다.
어라!
뭐야?
너한테 벌이 앉았어.
헐, 다 움직였어.
더 큰 상금을 위해 게임을 계속할지 아니면 여기서 중단할지는 전적으로 여러분 결정에 달려 있습니다.
지금 이러면 안 됩니다. 지금 당장 여기서 나가야 됩니다.
당신 뭐야?
여기 관계자야? 게임을 해놨어요! 이러다 정말 다 죽어요!
그런 놈이 여길 왜 다시 기어들어와?
한 판 더! 한 판 더!
Let's go. Yeah! All right, ladies and gentlemen, Squid Game 2! Let me tell you a little bit more about it. First of all, the creator, and again, please forgive these pronunciations, Hwang Dong-hyuk, stars Lee Jung-jae, also Lee Byung-hun, and Wee Ha-jun. Shout out. I'm not being funny, that's my best effort. It's a global phenomenon, one more again, on Netflix, and it returns as character Ji-hoon embarks on a new mission to expose the shadowy organization behind these deadly games. He crosses paths with old allies and new adversaries. Yeah! Ant says, somehow you got the Korean names better than Tig. All right, thanks, Brody. There was also some comments in the chat while the trailer was playing. I didn't want to hit those. Ant says, Landman isn't over for us, so I know he can't do Landman yet. Not normally. Hold that thought, however, okay? He also says, compared to Carry On, Landman is a fucking masterpiece. You hold that thought too, if you don't mind. Chucha says, definitely not for me. Oh, come on, Chuch, for this alone. I don't know why I love that so much. Ant says, Oh, we said that. And then fully aware of the awards if it wins. So, simply put, here's the concept, right? Typically, many people with like bad debts that owe a lot of money get approached by someone to play a game. And then they get invited to come play the big games, which are basically the Squid Games. And they give you the lore and they explain why it's called the Squid Game. I don't want to get into all that, but that's interesting. And it's all based on like playground children's games, at least primarily in Korea. And I think some of us are familiar with some of these games. For example, that sound that you keep hearing, that's for the game Red Light, Green Light, as you saw in the trailer. So it's a version of Red Light, Green Light where when it's like a big doll or robot, when the doll turns around, you go, and then when she says red light, she turns around. But if you have to be frozen. If you move, like you saw in the trailer, you die. Okay? So that's the whole nature of the Squid Games, where all the games arguably progressively get more intense and the players die. Now, what's interesting is that throughout the point of all these games, they kind of have the option of staying in or leaving. And so it's a commentary on people's thoughts and what they would rather do. So again, this isn't a formal breakdown. It's just meant to get you all to watch it. It's a fun show. And again, I highly recommend that you watch it in Korean with subtitles rather than the dub. It's just so much better. Now, I don't speak Korean, but I relate to some of these characters, and I love that. Like, so it's just good. It's just good. And I can't be wrong. I mean, it's a global phenomenon. There's a reason why it's such a majorly popular series. So check it out, even if it's not your thing. I think it's interesting. And says, that's the Korean Freddy Krueger. All right. Freddie Kim. Not bad. Not bad. All right. There is an ad break starting, but most of y'all are subscribers now. Thank you again for all the love and support, particularly this episode. Shout out to Chucha one more time. She's gifted a couple of subs already.
Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo.
Shit. Squid Game 2. The last thing I wanted to tell y'all about it was that I watched this whole series in the span of like one long day. So you can binge it over a weekend easy. And I don't often do that. But when I do, it feels profound. And I think season 2 is a bit shorter. But it's good. And they've already greenlit season 3. So rest assured. And the other thing that's happening now that you see these shows, like online, I'm getting all kinds of fan theories and fun facts about the actors. And so we can have more in-depth conversation as you like. I know we don't really do that. That's not the platform, but it's a good show. There's some cool stuff. And there's a lot of like, I think I know what this is all about. So like one theory, no spoilers. One theory is that one or more of the players are not actually players, but maybe they're something else. So you see, it gets a little deep is all I'm saying.
That's what she said.
All right. Squid Game 2. And it says the Choo Choo Choocha might honestly be the best one. Well, let's hear it one more time.
Choo choo, choo choo, choo choo, choo choo.
Yeah. All right. But wait, children, there is more. We've got one more title to talk about today. It's been mentioned in the chat, if you can believe that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed. Now, before I throw up the poster, let me say, Ant's right. AeroRising says, I haven't finished it, so we're not going to talk about it. Normally, I don't tell you about movies and series until I've watched them in their entirety. That way I can give you an honest perspective and feedback, and we can talk about more of it. We have, however, talked about some series in the past while I was watching them, because if I didn't, they were so topical that maybe I wouldn't have that opportunity and it just wouldn't have the same impact, or so I thought. The reason this one's coming out today is because I don't know when I'll be able to watch these next 2 episodes. And I'll tee it up this way. when I was home, my mom and dad and I watched this series together, top to bottom, and got through all the episodes that we could, and it was wonderful. We absolutely loved it. Ladies and gentlemen, Landman. Oh. There it is. And says, I was hoping there was one better than that. Sadly, I would want to argue that there is no way this could be the best thing you watch, but considering all the other reviews, you're probably right. I don't know if that's funny or not. Now look, AeroRising and I have talked about this series offline, and I know that while I think he thinks it's good, I don't think he thinks it's great. Correct me if I'm wrong, AeroRising. But contrary to that, and just like I don't agree with all of his opinions in general, much less, but as it relates to Carry On, I like that film. And I love Landman. All right, you can quote me on that. I love it. I love it. Billy Bob Thornton. In fact, the creators are Taylor Sheridan and Christian Wallace. And if you don't know Taylor Sheridan, that boy can do no wrong. He's having tremendous success with so many projects. Shout out to him. Chucha says, I love Landman too. Bang! It stars Billy Bob Thornton, Ali Larter, Jacob Latland, Michelle Randolph, Paulina Chavez, Kayla Wallace, John Hamm, and Demi Moore, to name a few. Hopester loves it too. The birthday girl! Shout out to you, Hope. Thank you again for being here and sticking around. I'm sorry to keep you ladies from your wonderful lunch. I hope your morning's going great. You don't have to stay here with me, but I so appreciate it. You're so sweet. Landman. I love it so much. And look, if you're not familiar with the show, this is what it's about. You ready? It's a gritty drama that delves into the chaotic world of West Texas oil. All right? It blends power, greed, the environmental stakes throughout the eyes of a complex, morally ambiguous character and characters. Billy Bob Thornton leads the way with his tough, high-stakes world of oil, corruption, and family drama, and he does a fantastic job. Hopester says, Billy Bob has only been a favorite. Absolutely, me too. She also says Ali Larter is totally hot. She would date her. Let's go, Hope. Got a little crush on Ali Larter, I see. Go ahead. Chucha Barber says the script writing is also amazing. See, we got some fans in the house. See? And it's a great show, man. Now look, if you're not familiar with Landman, and I know sadly some of my Norwegian connects, we don't have Paramount Plus out here. It's a fail. Reason being is some networks are geographically exclusive and therefore limited, but there are workarounds. Now, I have not finished the series in its entirety. We got up, I think there are 2 episodes left for me. Now, I think my parents and Hope, maybe some other people have seen, there's still a season finale if I'm not mistaken, so I am curious to know how it's gonna end. I'm sure it's gonna end with a banger. And just like Squid Game, this too has been greenlit for a season 2, because of course it has. Russ Barber says, last episode of the season is tomorrow. Look at that. What's his name? R-U-S-S. Thank you for that, Dad. Appreciate you, man. So I'm probably going to miss that too, sadly. But it comes up online. That's the other thing. When you haven't finished the show, you got to stay off social media because your whole BuzzFeed will be just like all the things. And you're like, no, I didn't know that. All right, Ant wrote us a poem, so let's see what he says. He says, it's good. It's not great. Peripheral. Okay, good word. Peripheral characters casting is ridiculous. I don't know what you mean by that. He also says, got the most beautiful girl in the world working in a small coffee hut at 5 a.m. That's true. All right. A teenager telling her, all right, he goes on and on. You can read that. It's not a haiku. It was damn near book report. All right, bang. Believe it or not, I think the coffee shop that's referenced in the show is actually a real place in Texas. Now, I can't speak to the caliber of people that work there as far as aesthetics go, but I think, and I'm sure they took some creative liberties, but it is designed to be, it's a kind of like a Hooters, but for coffee, if you know what I mean by that. So anyway, I think it's a real thing. Look, if you haven't seen the show, if you're not up on it, I gotta show you something because talking about it doesn't do it enough justice. All right, so you know what's coming. I'm gonna throw up the gradient. Now, it's not a trailer. What you're about to see is a scene that I thought was profound for many reasons, but at the very least, it gives you a perspective of how great Billy Bob Thornton is in playing this character. I hope you dig it as much as I do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Billy Bob in a scene from Landman. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, give it up one more again. Landman. Billy Bob is cold. I love that monologue. I love it so much that I would love to do a rendition of that monologue, as a matter of fact. Now, I think to make it dope, you'd have to do it in the similar style, but just spitting those facts the way he did, it was just so cold. And I think it's all founded in truth, you know? And when I first saw the scene, and again, shout out to my mom and dad, we saw it together, it hit pretty hard, because you consider solar and wind and other versions of energy sources to be clean. And then you hear things like this and it puts it in perspective. I don't know about the infrastructure and how quickly we could do all that, but certainly it's worth considering. And then I didn't have any idea how many products were petroleum-based, but you do the research and sure enough. But outside of all that, from an entertaining aspect, it's great. I love it. I don't know. I think it's the accent and the way, you know, the cut of his jib. It's good. Shout out one more time. Ant says he's heard it all a million times before on 100 podcasts, but yeah, coming out Billy Bob it's pretty good. Fedmiss says, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. America. Shout out to you, Fedmiss. Appreciate you being here, man. Chucha loves it. Ant says, okay, Yellowstone. So I think these, I've read through these. I don't know if they're all Taylor Sheridan productions, but he says Yellowstone is greater than Mayor of Kingstown. I guess he puts them in order. So he'll rank them as Yellowstone, Mayor of Kingstown, 1923, Lawman Bass Reeves, Lioness, 1883, Landman, and Tulsa King. Fedman also put the Illuminati in the chat. Shout out to you, bro. I think it's true, man. I think it's true. And look, Norway, you know what I'm talking about? Norway got that oil, boy. Norway got that oil. Chucha says, as they say in Norway, it's fantastic. That's also a family joke. Taylor Sheridan, yep, bang. All right. And again, shout out to Taylor Sheridan. I don't know how he's doing this. I mean, the man is, all those shows you listed in the chat, I mean, they're hits. He's swinging big. Pause. Landman. But the show has story arcs and depth, and we're not going to talk about all of that. And there are some things that happen that even I am not a fan of, right? One thing in particular, but I won't spoil it. But it's a good show. It's worth watching. To my Norwegian fan bam, if you have the chance to stream this somehow, please do. It's entertaining, it's fun, and it's an insight into Texas. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. Come on, Texas. Ant says, he does have help, co-writers, but he gets the main nod. Yep. And I did list, and I'll say his name again, because in case he deserves this shine, Christian Wallace. Christian Wallace is another of the credited creators of this particular show. I can't speak to his other accolades, but at least Landman. Fedman says, where do you stream this? Well, firstly, you stream it on Paramount Plus in the good old United States of A. Paramount Plus. I don't know where we watch it in Norway, my friend. That's the sad part, you see? That's why I'm sad that I'm not gonna get to watch this last episode that came out and the finale. But don't you worry, I'll figure out a way to watch it. Maybe you can come on over to my house and we'll live stream together. All right? Ant says, has to be an illegal way. Ant, we don't do illegal things out here, bruh. Come on, bang. No, chances are we'll have to pirate this thing. And then he says, what about CBS website in general? That's a good question. I don't know if I've ever visited the CBS website out here. Here's something though. Some websites, again, are geographically blocked. Like you'll try to go to a site. I'll go to a site that I think is a regular ass site and it'll be like, cannot display in your region. I'm like, what? All right. We'll figure it out. Don't you worry. Landman, ladies and gentlemen, it is on Paramount Plus. Shout out. And one more again, shout out to the fan bam for watching this one with me. Love y'all. Bye. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, hit the horns. We have had a really fun show already, and we've got one more segment coming up. And this is where we sometimes lose our audience. Sadly, you know? I know. But we're going to do it. But I'm going to keep it brief today because I know that my lovely ladies back home are getting ready to celebrate a birthday rightfully. So one more time, shout out to Hopester, the birthday girl. Chucha's taking her to lunch. Yeah. And it says Amazon and YouTube may have options as well for pay. There you go. For pay. Yeah, the Amazon thing is another frustrating one because I pay for Prime and I do get some shows, but again, I don't get everything because of the region blocks. It's so silly, and I don't fully understand the rhyme or reason. But there you go. So here's what we're gonna do, and before I forget, I'm gonna go ahead and change the category because I often forget to do that. So bang, and then if I click done, hopefully my stream information just updated. So what I'm gonna do now is change the scene, and we are going to get into, you ready? The Witcher. Let's do it. Here we are, and rightfully so. Haven't hit the button in a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, do me a favor and toss a coin.
Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh.
There you go. And we changed the lights, and this is where we're at.
Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh Valley of Plenty.
It's a different segment. Listen, break it down. Chill. Thank you for that, Mom. What's her name?
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
Yeah. Well, Mom, I so very much appreciate all of your support, and thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too
In fact, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to share with you that we're covered, even though we still have a good 75% or more of the book remaining for season 2. We've got season 3 on deck. What do I mean? Well, I was thoughtfully gifted the next book for Christmas by none other than Miss Chucha. So how about that?
Choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-choo.
So there you go. What that means is that when we inevitably, at some point, finish this book, we've got the next one ready to go. Thank you again, Mom. All right. Now, sadly, I didn't do all of my homework well enough to give you an amazing Witcher recap. I recognize that this is an inconsistent show, and readings should be episodic and fairly consistent if you're going to kind of maintain the story. Even though I try to tell you where we are and where we've been, the other thing that I don't love about this particular book is that the author has written these chapters. They're exhausting. And so we only get through small segments of a particular chapter in any given show. So it's not like you end on a major conclusion and I'll see you in the next episode. So it's kind of like, hey, I'll fill you in the best I can. Follow along if you love it. Now, what you could do is go back and rewatch those portions of the show. And what I've tried to do, and shout out to AeroRising for putting me on to a very cool AI feature. Maybe we'll get an affiliate with them. We have created chapters within the live stream. So if you're rewatching this on YouTube, chances are you can skip right to the Witcher segment, if that's your shtick, if that's your bag. And then you can just follow along. So hopefully going back through season 2, you can just jump right to The Witcher, and then you'll just be listening to The Witcher segments. Maybe what we do is we create a whole new playlist of just The Witcher. Shout out to Chucha for making that suggestion. Long way of saying, look, I know it's hard to follow along. We're trying. Ryan's trying. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the read. All right, but coming up next is The Witcher recap.
Toss a coin.
You mentioned coin. This is Witcher recap.
Cool. Love that soundbite. In the last reading, which was several weeks ago, I know Yennefer, and hopefully you know who that is, and Princess Siri of Sintra. The two of them are on their way to, I think, the Conclave, which is like where the mages gather. But Siri's basically gonna go to like summer camp, if you will. That's my interpretation. I have to fix my cables. And they stop at a dwarves' bank. And so where we are in the chapter is we're basically having a conversation with a friend of Yennefer's, who is a dwarf, and he's also like a bank manager. And I know I wish I had more for you, but that's where we left off. That's what I got. It is what it is. That's your very short and succinct Witcher recap.
Toss a coin. You mentioned coin. What's there, Witcher recap?
All right, and one more time. Before we start our reads, we typically give the intro, and so I'll do it again because you love it so much, ladies and gentlemen. Dandelion the Bard, or Jaskier, as he is also referred, play that lute.
Toss a coin to your Witcher, O Valley of Plenty, O Valley of Plenty, oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chapter 2 of Book 2 in the Witcher series. The book is titled Time of Contempt. Chapter 2 does not have a title, and I believe this is our Part 3. Will you be heading towards Hirundum before setting off for Thaned? Just by chance, of course. No, said the enchantress, turning away. I won't. Change the subject, Molnar. Giancardi stroked his beard again and looked at Siri. She lowered her head, cleared her throat, and fidgeted in her chair. Quite, he said. Time to change the subject. But your charge is clearly bored by that book and by our conversation, and my next topic will bore her even more. I suspect the fate of the world, the fate of the dwarves of this world, the fate of their banks. What a boring subject for girls. For future graduates of Aretuza, let her spread her wings a little, Yennefer. Let her take a walk around the city. Oh, yes, cried Siri. The enchantress looked annoyed and was opening her mouth to protest, but suddenly changed tack. Siri wasn't certain, but she suspected the faint wink that accompanied the banker's suggestion influenced her decision. Let the girl have a look at the wonders of the ancient city of Gorsvelen, added Giancardi, smiling broadly. Oh. Yeah, this is the only problem with reading this book, is that Siri thinks I'm talking to her. I'm not. I don't know how to... I should just turn that off. I never use it. Sorry. Let the girl have a look at the wonders of the ancient city of Gorsvelen, added Giancardi, smiling broadly. She deserves a little freedom before Aretuza, and we'll chat about certain issues of a, personal nature. No, I'm not suggesting the girl goes alone, even though it's a perfectly safe city. I'll assign her a companion and a guardian, one of my younger clerks. Forgive me, Molnar, said Yennefer, ignoring the smile, but I'm not convinced that, in the present times and even in a safe city, the presence of a dwarf... It didn't even occur to me, said Giancardi indignantly. To send her with a dwarf? The clerk I have in mind is the son of a respected merchant, every inch of a human. If you'll excuse the expression.
That's what she said.
Look at your boy making a joke. Did you think I only employ dwarves? Hey, Whiffley. Whiffley? I thought it said Wi-Fi for a second. Hey, Whiffley, summon Fabio and look lively. Damn, what his name is Fabio? Come on. Siri, the enchantress walked over to her, bending forward slightly. Make sure there's no funny business. Nothing I'll have to be ashamed of. And keep stum. Got it? You can schedule messages to send later in the messages app. Shut the fuck up, Siri. Sorry, folks. Make sure there's no funny business. Nothing I'll have to be ashamed of. And keep stum. Got it? Promise me you'll watch your words and your deeds. Don't just nod. Promises are made aloud. I promise, Yennefer. And glance at the sun from time to time. You'll be back at noon, punctually. And no, I don't imagine anyone will recognize you, but should you notice someone observing you too intently, the enchantress put her hand in her pocket and pulled out a small piece of crystalphase marked with runes, ground and polished into the shape of an hourglass. Put that in your pouch, and don't lose it. In case of emergencies, do you recall the spell? Just use it discreetly. Activation emits a powerful echo, and the amulet transmits waves when it's in use. Should there be someone nearby who's sensitive to magic, you'll reveal yourself to them rather than remain hidden. Ah, and take this, should you wish to buy something. Thank you, madam. Siri put the amulet and coins into her pouch and looked with interest at the boy who had rushed into the office. He was freckled, and his wavy chestnut hair fell onto the high collar of his gray clerk's uniform. Fabio Sachs, said Giancardi by way of introduction. The boy bowed courteously. Fabio, this is Madame Yennefer, our honored guest and respected client, and this young lady, her ward. She wishes to visit our city. You shall be accompanying her and acting as her guide and guardian. The boy bowed once more, this time towards Siri, said Yennefer coldly. Please stand up. And I hope you understand why I'm saying the name so softly. It's so the phone doesn't wake up. She stood up. This broad. All right. I will make a note to myself, team, and we will disable Siri to the best of our ability. And I'm not going to read too much more today. We are, as a matter of fact, we have crossed the 2-hour threshold. Shout out to us. And I know the ladies have a birthday lunch to get to. So go on. Here we go. She stood up, slightly taken aback, for she knew the custom well enough to know it wasn't expected of her. And she understood at once what Yennefer had seen. The clerk might look the same age as, but he was a head shorter. Molnar, said the enchantress, who is taking care of whom? Couldn't you assign someone of slightly more substantial dimensions in this task? The boy blushed and looked at his superior questioningly. Giancardi nodded his head in assent. The clerk bowed a third time. I don't know who's speaking. Your Highness, he began, fluently and confidently. Oh, this is the boy. I may not be tall, but you can rely on me. I know the city, the suburbs, and the surroundings very well. I shall look after this young lady to the best of my ability. And if I, Fabio Sachs, the younger, son of Fabio Sachs, do something to the best of my ability, then many an older boy would not better it. Yennefer looked at him for a while and then turned towards the banker. Congratulations, Molnar, she said. You know how to choose your staff. You will have cause to be grateful to your young clerk in the future. It's true, the purest gold rings truest when you strike it. Siri, I entrust you into the care of Fabio, son of Fabio, in absolute confidence, since he is a serious, trustworthy man. Toss a coin if you would.
To your witcher, O Valley of Plenty, O Valley of Plenty, oh.
Chill. All right, let's change these lights back up. Just like that. And let's get back to the live. So much happening.
The first was the
so
day I
much
met
happening.
Josh.
Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen.
And the second, the day I killed him.
All right. Jeez. Yeah, I haven't streamed in a couple weeks, so I forgot to turn all that stuff off before I transitioned back. Oops. Chucha says, I do love it. She says, good job. Missed the readings. I love you for that. What's her name?
Her name is Chucha. She's getting lit up in the chat.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, I think pretty much that was our show today. The first stream of 2025. Bam! And one more time at the top of the show, if you were here, thank you again for being with us.
Thank you. Far too kind.
And if you missed it or you didn't see it, I just wanted to take another opportunity to extend our thoughts to California and our friends and loved ones who may be impacted by the wildfires out there. And shout out to the heroic firefighters and first responders. One time for them. Chill. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We testing the game. Oh yeah. Shameless plug one more time. We did release some new music. Oh yeah, and you can check that out both on Spotify and SoundCloud and YouTube as well. Yeah. In fact, when I throw it to the outro, you'll get to hear a little more of Let the Horns Play. All right. And that's it. So listen, Hopester, one more time. Birthday girl, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, darling. And thank you for stopping by and spending time. Shoot, go on and take her to lunch, girl. She deserves it. To my entire family, friends, both back home in Florida, out in Cali, and in Norway, and everywhere else. Love y'all. Miss y'all. See you in the next show. This was Hit 'em One Time.
This was a successful unveiling.
Go back to work. Thanks again for being here. Love y'all. See you in the next one. Maybe next week. Bang. Peace.
My tongue's a razor blade, babe, sharper than Ginsu. 2 hands on the tech, homie, Yoshimitsu. The face is a death tape right next to the pistol. Every song is a sketch, dog. I draw with a pencil. Went over your head, didn't it? Finish him, tombstone. Take her with the purple gloves, homie, I'm too cold. Show up at your school zone, Glock in a trench coat. Teach him how to cheat, GPT on the test, bro. Backpack on, cause it's part of the dress code. Wallet with the Velcro, laptop, cell phone. Fuck it, let the horns play. Young Michael Jackson performing on Soul Train. Diesel in his prime when he wrestled on cocaine. You ain't got a glaze, I already know, man. The showstopper, I'm a motherfucking icon. Hulk Hogan, 24's Python. What you gonna do? Fuck it, let the horns play. What they gonna say when I show up in the doorway? Bellhop, I'm all about the bag, kid. I'm in the lobby getting top from a bad bitch. Real shit, macho with the madness. Miss Elizabeth, gonna hit the ad lib.
You direct your questions right here toward me. I'm the Intercontinental